right, yo. I was telling my son this morning on the way to school, I was dropping him off, and we were talking about, of course, Infinity Wars, but just stories in general. And one of the things that I told him was that what makes a story go too long is when you start telling unnecessary information and things like, I mean, not just things that have nothing, that drift away from what people want to know. And when I say what people want to know, you're telling every story, you're talking to somebody, you're telling them something. So when you're writing your story, or when you're telling your story, you've got to tell them what they want to hear. That's it. After that, it becomes unnecessary. It drags the story out. It feels like you're catering to different audiences. Even when you add characters like they have nothing to do with the story or the solution of the story or the problem of the story. The three things people want to know is, how did you find out what the hell the problem was? How did you find out? You know, give you an example. You know, we was arresting this dude. It took a long time to arrest him. We was chasing him down. You know what I'm saying? And he had some real strange joint. He was able to jump over this building. We was like, how the hell he jumped over the garbage can? You know, we finally caught him. It took us a while. Then we got him down to the police precinct, and we threw him in the jail cell. And we found out, dude is an alien. Oh, snap. All right, so that's how we realized, right? But then that wasn't it. He was not only an alien, it was a whole alien invasion. He was just trying to warn us. And we looked outside, and New York City was being straight attacked. It was going crazy. And we was like, oh my God. So that's the first thing. Anything longer than that, come on, dude, you're telling me too much. Cut to the story. That's how we found out. That's your act one. Wow. How did you find out there was a problem? That's the first thing people want to know. After I see that, that's when I go to the get my popcorn, because now I know what we got to figure out how to solve. And now I know that it's going to take a minute for us to figure out what the full extent of the problem is, and then how do we solve it. So that becomes the second question. Yo, we went out, we was fighting the aliens, they were shooting us, they had some shielding, you know, boom. We couldn't figure out, they was re-healing themselves. It was like, oh my God, they knew everywhere we were going. We had no idea how to solve that. So you're allowed to explore and attempt different things. But at the end of the day, if you don't get on to how do you solve the problem, people are going to be like, yo, it's dragging. So we found out that if we got up to the ship to take out their shielding, they would not heal, our bullets would become effective, all of those different good things. So that's your act two. How do you solve the problem? First act, what the hell is the problem? What's going on? Don't misdirect. Don't have 5 different things. Now, you can find out that maybe they're not really aliens. Maybe there's something else. But at the end of the day, don't go through no long journey of finding out who the hell they are, you know, unless your book is going to be a series. And even within, you got to wrap that stuff up in first book. You got to wrap up something. You got to make some accomplishment, or people are left like, what is this? And these stories that don't really do that well, that's why people like, oh my God, what's going on? Then so after you find out how to solve the problem, we got to get to that ship. We got to take down that shielding. We got to, you know, Star Wars, you know, we got to get to the Death Star. You know, somebody's got to lower the shield, send, you know, a troop of people down to the Death Star or whatever to take the shield down. You know, so yes, you got to do that. Then once you take the shield, you figure out what you got to do. Now you have to enact that solution. So Infinity Wars, and it was a variety of people, you know, the awareness. Spider-Man found out a certain way. Iron Man found out a certain way. Thor, he was the first one to find out. Then the Guardians of the Galaxy, they found out. Then, you know, Captain America and them was like, yo, they found out. I don't even know the chronology. You know, after Hulk hit the planet, they found out. And then you had Wakanda. They was like the last ones to find out, yo, this dude is coming to destroy, to get the Infinity Stones. You know, Doctor Strange, he found out differently. So you had all of those different multiple awarenesses, but then all of them, you know, you're telling multiple stories. But the cool thing is they all come together at the end to a certain extent. I mean, they all experience the same ending, you know, which was not what they expected. So then after you do that, you saw Guardians of the Galaxy, Star-Lord arguing with Tony Stark, yo, we're going to do my solution. And Tony was like, you know, they went along with it. So after you develop your solution, your strategy, what do you call it? You impact that. That's your last act. Either you win or you lose. This is how we're going to take out Darth Vader. They won in Star Wars. In Avengers, they lost. So that's the end of the story. Now, the next story, they're going to find a way, you know, to survive this Thanos thing. They're going to get a ray of hope. All right, they're going to find out there's a solution because the problem is half them been killed. So they're going to have to figure out how to solve that. You know, then they're going to figure out, okay, after we find out it's a problem that we can solve, now we got to figure out a way to solve it. Then they're going to try to solve whatever that problem is. You know, oh, they're not really dead. Or, you know, we can seek revenge, you know, if it's going to be a full revenge, because Thor is going to be mad, Iron Man's going to be mad, Captain America's going to be mad, all of Wakanda's going to be mad, and they lost the king again. You can't make it through no movie, you know. So he's going to be mad. So after that, then they're going to try their solution. And, you know, it's a six-part movie. Again, they may lose. They may lose. They don't have to win into the sixth movie. They may lose. I mean, you look at the Lord of the Rings, every movie, they ended up kind of making some type of progress, but here comes Mordor, here comes whatever, with some extra problem, and they really never solved the full problem until they threw the ring in the volcano at the end of the movie, which was stupid because they could have took the eagles in the first movie and flew to the daggone volcano, you know, or they could have been figuring out a way to get the eagles on their side the whole movie, and then figured a way to take the the ring and drop it in the volcano, because the eagles was killing the dragons. So that's crazy. But anyway, back to those three questions. People only want to know, how did you find out the problem? You know, yo, I didn't sleep with her. I mean, once I slept with her, I found out I had gonorrhea. All right, done. You know, what the hell is gonorrhea and how you solve it? And then how did you go to see the doctor to get the cure to have gonorrhea? You know what I'm saying? Get rid of your gonorrhea. Now, gonorrhea may be curable, but it's good that he didn't find out he had herpes, because there's no solution to that. So the end of the movie was like, how did you learn how to live after contracting herpes? I joined herpes.com, and I found other people with herpes, and we learned how to have sex only when we don't have our outbreaks. Well, there's some type of ending to that story, so that at the end of the day, you have your three acts. And that's really it, people. Storytellers, it's a storyteller's magic. When you're telling people stories, they want questions answered. And those questions are, how did you find out what the problem was? How did you find out how to solve the problem? And then, how did you go about solving the problem? You stray away from any of those, you drag any of those out, your story becomes Spider-Man. And why is he dancing with this girl in the middle of the movie? You trying to solve a problem. Maybe you thought the problem went away. Maybe you thought you solved the problem. But in Spider-Man, we know he didn't. He just drifted away. And the dude is telling us something else. And, you know, in that drift away, maybe you find out the problem is still going. Like, oh, shoot, I thought I killed all the vampires. And then this girl take me to this vampire club, and I found out they just went further underground, and I really didn't solve them. Okay, so there you have it as a false solution. Now you got to find a real solution. But at the end of the day, yo, ain't gonna be but one or two false solutions before people be like, yo, okay, my man, tell the story. God, you ain't got forever. Nobody want to hear all that. I mean, and people telling stories are only like 10 minutes, they're going to listen to you talking. So if you're putting stuff on the screen, yeah, your attention span may be an hour and a half, you know, but if you start going 2-3 hours, you got to give them some smoke and whistles, you know. Then the story starts to drag, even with special effects. So anyway, I just wanted to say that that was my morning conversation with my son. Y'all guys have a nice day, a nice ride to work. All right. You see, I didn't look at the camera because I'm driving. Now I'm looking because I'm getting off the highway. All right, peace.